Hi everyone, this is Vanessa and I'm here with Ellen today, and she is here to share with us some of her life story and the reason why she chose the word that she chose. So Ellen, could you tell us what word you chose?
I chose unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Okay, can you tell us why you chose that word?
I chose that word because, well, in 2010 my husband was diagnosed with cancer and we battled for 3 years and ended up losing him in 2013, which I thought was, the most horrible time of my life. And then not even a year later I lost my mom. And then not even a year later I lost a very special person to me. So within 3 years I lost 3 people that I just couldn't fathom being in this world without.
Right.
But
I understand.
I survived.
Can you share with us a little bit about the stories or how you got through that time in your life?
A lot of it was, I blogged, I wrote.
Okay.
I wrote everything, while my husband was undergoing treatment. That was how I got it out. I had a Facebook page, I had a Caring Bridge page.
What's Caring Bridge?
It's actually a very cool website. So like if you are in the hospital dealing with something and you have a big family, well, you don't want to sit and text and call everyone. And I would talk with my hands a lot.
Me too. You're fine.
So a friend of mine told me about it, and you can go on there and you can start putting updates and you send it out and people can just start adding themselves.
Oh, nice.
And it alerts them and they see what's going on.
So you can communicate with everybody at
You
one
can
time.
communicate and then you can get feedback from them, words of encouragement, which was awesome. I mean, there was days that I would read it and just bawl like a big baby. And then there was days that I would read it and laugh like a fool and read it to him, and it would uplift him also, knowing that there was so many people out there that prayed for him and was there to help me when he couldn't. So
that's wonderful. And as you said, you lost several people close to you. How do you deal with that when they're going through, your husband was going through the cancer and everything they were going through before they got to, unfortunately, to that?
Unfortunately, after I lost my husband, there was quite a few dark days. Days that people that I loved the most had no idea.
Right.
Days that I wanted to go be with him.
Sure.
But I had 2 sons, and they needed me. And I had to back up and I had to learn everything because my husband took care of me. He took care of everything.
Okay.
So I didn't know
the bills.
I didn't know how to pay the bills. I didn't know passwords, because before I wanted to admit to myself that the end was near.
Right.
I couldn't get those out of him anymore because the cancer had affected his brain.
Okay.
And I have a picture of him and he's on my laptop and he's trying really hard, but he can't remember nothing.
Right.
So thankfully where I banked, I had people there that knew me and helped me, and that is one thing that I will teach any lady, any man: don't ever have all the information with one person, because you just never know. You got to have access to that. I mean, there was bills that wasn't being paid that I didn't realize, and he was down and out for 2 months before he passed. So there was a lot of stuff that I should have known that I just took for granted because he had it. He took care of me. And that was the biggest thing for me, was to learn how to be an independent person again.
And be self-sufficient.
Be an adult.
Yeah.
To a point,
Exactly.
and then, once he's gone, and then, there's my 2 sons, and I gotta, oh my goodness, I gotta figure out, keep them on track and make sure they know that, this isn't the end of the world, that mom will always be there for them. And
nobody wants to talk about that. But
no, they don't. And a lot of people were like, well, you need to go have counseling. And I never did, and there's a part of me that wishes I did. But again, that's where my journals came in.
Yeah. That was your own counseling.
It was. I talked to myself, per se.
Did you keep them?
I did.
Good.
I do.
Keep stuff like that.
I have a lot of, and the website's still up on Facebook and on Caring Bridge. I just haven't, I can't shut it down.
Right. Not ready for that yet.
No. I have a whole box. And one thing that we did do, that if anyone's ever dealing with something like this, another friend of mine suggested, in the last couple of weeks of his life, I brought a notebook into the room, and as people visited, they wrote him notes and letters.
Perfect.
I cannot read that yet.
You haven't?
I've read some of them, but there's a few that, no.
Yeah, it gave me go chills. I
Yeah.
would probably be the same way. A friend of mine, her sister passed, and before she passed, when we went in, we would write notes to her too. That's a wonderful memory when you
It
can
is.
when you get the chance to read it.
Yeah, there's that box, I can just kind of open it up and look and then just close it back.
I bet. Oh my goodness.
But he's
That's-
always there, so.
Yeah. And you know you had those folks coming in and seeing you all and giving you that
Mhm.
encouragement.
Right. Even though, you know, he, at that point, he didn't know that anyone was around.
Yeah,
In my heart, I think he knew. I think he could still hear them.
I think so too.
Because it was probably, like I said, he became non-responsive verbally, probably 3 weeks before he passed. But I could walk up to him and whisper in his ear, "I'm coming for a kiss," and he puckered every time,
Oh,
up until the very last day.
I love it.
So,
That's perfect.
we were together for 30 years.
30
so,
years.
mhm.
Oh my goodness.
Over half my life.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You grew up together.
We did. I mean, I graduated in '83, June of '83, and met him in July of '83. So,
That's wonderful. Y'all had some amazing years, I'm sure.
we did. We
That's
did.
good. And you'll have all those memories.
There's a ton of memories, and I just hope to keep sharing them with my kids. And,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, after I lost him, I didn't think anything could be worse until, and it wasn't worse, but then, you know, when you turn around and then I lost my mom to the same stupid disease.
Cancer sucks.
Yes. I usually say a lot worse than that, but I won't.
Right.
So that's pretty much, I mean, you know, that's my story. I just, if I have advice, I would say, you know, make sure you know everything that's going on. Live every day like it's your last. And always tell the people you love that you love them.
I agree. That's a great way to end our segment.
Yeah.
Except for, I do have a couple more questions. And I
Okay.
want to say thank you for coming and sharing that. I'm sure there's lots of women out there in that situation. That we just, like you said, take for granted of what each other you do in a marriage. You know,
Right.
somebody does this, somebody does that, and you just go on with life and you don't think about
No,
learning how to
you
do what
don't.
each other's doing. But
Exactly.
It'd be it's a lesson for all of us. Before we go, can you tell us something that you can do today that you couldn't do before doing the project with us?
I can actually, after taking the pictures and reading the magazines and looking at some of the videos, I actually look in the mirror every day and tell myself, you are worth it, you are beautiful, and as my husband always said, keep your head up and keep moving forward.
I love it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Ellen, for being
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you for including me. I love this project.
Good. We'll have to get you and do some more things too.
I would love to.
Thank you again. Thank you all for being with us. I am Vanessa, and I am inspired.
I am Ellen, and I am relieved.